Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing an extra long set of nails. But before we do that, we're going to be soaking off the set that she has on now. As you guys know, I've been on a month-long break, so I am finally back. So her nails actually been on for a month, and she wanted to go ahead and just soak the set off and get a new one. So the first thing that I did was just went in and just removed the bling with a pair of nippers. Now I'm just going in with a nail clipper and just trimming down the nails as much as I can. That way, you know, we're not, of course, soaking off unnecessary products. So just make sure you cut the nails down. And then after this, we're going to go in and just follow the acrylic down as much as you can. That way, whenever you start soaking, it speeds up the process. Alrighty, so again, now we're gonna go in with the extra coarse drill bit by Pana, and it is a safety one, and we're gonna go in and just follow down the acrylic as much as we can so it can speed up the soaking process, especially since the nails are really long. You know, they have to be a little bit thicker, so we don't want to be soaking all day. So we go in and just follow it down to thin down the acrylic, and it's just gonna make the acrylic or the soak off a lot faster. Again, this is an extra coarse safety drill bit by Pana, and I get these from Amazon, so I'll be sure to leave the link down in the description. Once we've done filing the acrylic down, we're going to be soaking the nails off in pure acetone. We're going to put them in the little soaking dish until the acrylic soaks off. And usually once I file the nails down, like by the time that, you know, I finish doing this to the other hand, this one is almost completely soaked off. But it just depends on how much acrylic you actually file off during this step. Alrighty, so I'm going in with my little soaking dish. I'm going to go ahead and fill them up with pure acetone. And we're just going to let her nails rest in there for, you know, like 15 to 20 minutes. Or, yeah, like 15 to 20 minutes is a good time. Or just until, you know, the acrylic soaks off. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this end. Just clipping down or cutting down the nails. And then we're going to go in and file them down and then soak them. Alrighty, so after 15 to 20 minutes, I'm just going in with a paper towel and I'm just wiping away that soaked off acrylic. I'm going to go in and just trim her nails all the way down because that's just how she likes them. She's kind of like me. I hate to see my natural nail underneath the acrylic. So she likes her nails cut all the way down before she gets a new set. And then now I'm just going in with a cuticle pusher and I'm just pushing back those cuticles back. Remember, this just helps with exposing the new growth, or pushing back the cuticles helps with exposing the new growth and helps with reducing lifting. After that, we're going to go in and remove the shine from the natural nail. So as always, we go from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth until we remove the shine from the natural nail. Remember that our body produces a lot of oils. Those oils happen to be on our nails, so we just have to go in and just file it off. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. So again, we're just wiping away that soaked off acrylic from the nail. And then after that, we're going to go in and push the cuticle, or sorry, trim down the nail and then push the cuticles back. And then we're going to go in and remove the shine from the natural nail. Alright, so now we're going to go in and apply the nail tips. I'm applying these nail tips. I believe she got them from Sally's. I know she brought them to me a while back, you know, to use on her nails. And she likes them because they curve and they're a lot longer than some of the ones that I have. But really, she just likes that curve. Mine are more, you know, straight. So that's why I'm using these. And she's the only person that I use these on. So to glue the nails on, I'm just using my KDS glue. Just like any other time, make sure that when you're applying the nail tips, they fit exactly from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want it to be too small or too big, because if not, you will get lifting, or they could also break off. So again, make sure they fit correctly. And we're just going to go in and size each nail individually, and making sure that you apply the nail on there really straight. So make sure that you hold your client's finger as you're applying the nail tip. And, you know, if you need to move it a little bit to the side, you can do that as well. Alrighty, so now we're gonna go in and trim down the sides of the nails. That way whenever we start shaping, it's gonna save us just a little bit of time. With these, she is gonna keep them this long, so that's why I'm just going ahead and just clipping down the sides. She likes to get her nails like a narrow coffin shape, so that's why I'm just going in and trimming down the sides. After this, we're gonna go in with a 100 nail file, and we're gonna start reshaping the nails. And with these, it's really important that I go in at exactly a 90-degree angle on the sides and the free edge. The reason why it's so important on the sides is because since the nail curves, you want to go exactly from the side of the nail, which is the nail groove, right towards that nail tip, because if not, you're gonna file underneath the nail, and it kind of causes like a little, it's basically like you're falling into the nail, and it causes to, you know, for the nail to break off really easily. I don't know if that made sense, but I know that was one mistake that I made before with her nails, and I didn't realize it because I wasn't used to doing, you know, nails with the curve. Mine always been straight. So if you're using curved nail tips, make sure that you do not file like underneath the nail. You go exactly from the side of the nail, from the nail groove towards the free edge. But we're going to be filing, you know, of course, from side to side, just making sure that we get them as narrow or wide as we want them. She likes hers pretty narrow, so we're just going to go in on both sides, also going in to blend in the nail tip right in the middle, and then going in at a 90-degree angle at the free edge to make sure that it is really straight as well. Alrighty, so now we just went ahead and dust the nails off, and then I'm going in with the Young Nail Protein Bond, and we're applying this on the natural nail only, making sure that we don't get it on the skin, because if we do and they have any little cut, it will burn them. And then after this, we're going to go in and apply the acrylic, and as always, I'm going to be using my Mia Secret acrylic system in the color pink. I'm going to be using my alpha brush in a number 10. I will be sure to leave all of the links down below for you guys. So now I'm just going in with the acrylic. So as you can see, I placed my first bead right in the middle, closer to the tip, patting it down and then brushing it down towards the tip, making sure that whenever you brush the acrylic down towards the tip that you're really gentle. You don't want to brush the acrylic off the nail, you just want to spread it out throughout the nail. Also, one big thing that I've been doing lately, especially with longer nails, is we all know that the Mia Secret acrylic is on the runnier side. So if you add a few drops of acetone into your monomer, it kind of makes it dry a little bit faster, which means it's not going to be as runny. So you're able to build your product a lot faster instead of having to add more acrylic and add more acrylic, because usually for me that's how it is with the Mia Secret, and I'm sure everyone has that same issue. So if you just add a few little drops of acetone into your monomer, you know, when it's in a little dapping dish, it will help and it will make the process go a lot faster, because the product is going to set faster. So you won't have to go in and, you know, apply so many beads. But as you can see, I'm kind of doing the 4-ball method, but of course, since these nails are pretty you know, long, we have to make sure that we have a nice apex, that way the nails do not break off. Also making sure that we have a nice thickness at the tip, so you are going to have to go in and add a little bit more product wherever it's needed. But as always, make sure that you look at the nail from different angles, and that's going to help you, you know, determine where you need to add more product, because you will be able to see it whenever you look at the nail from the side. So make sure that you're aware of that when you're doing nails. It doesn't matter if they're, you know, this long, a little bit shorter, medium length, it doesn't matter. You have to make sure that you have a nice apex and a nice thickness at your tip. But same thing for the rest of the nails. First bead, placing it right in the middle, patting it down towards the tip. We're going to apply the next one right below that one. And again, remember that when you brush your product down, that you're super gentle. That way you don't wipe the product off, because you're basically going to be back at square one with not much or no product on the nail. Also making sure that when you're doing this, that you're wiping the sides of the nails, as you see me doing here. That way our nail does not lose its shape, so that at the end we don't have to go in and do so much, you know, reshaping again. So remember, you want to make sure that you work smarter and not harder. Another thing is making sure that you wipe your brush off a lot when you're working, because that product will get stuck in your brush if you don't do so. And also make sure that you know that when you're buying your supplies, that you don't go cheap with your brush, because your brush is definitely one of your most important tools. It can definitely make or break your set. So make sure that you know you spend good money on a brush. Again, I use the alpha brushes. I use the alpha brush in an oval shape in a number 10, and I absolutely love it. But you know, you can buy whatever brush, whatever brand you feel comfortable using. Just make sure that it's, you know, a good one. That way you're able to apply your acrylic nice and smooth, and the brush is not gonna, you know, mess up really easily. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just finish this set. It's gonna be the same thing over and over again for each nail. Just remember that if you need to add a little bit more acrylic here or there, just feel free to do so. Don't feel like just because we're doing the 4-ball method that you have to, you know, stick to that. You can add wherever you need more product. Alrighty, so we finished the first hand. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this one. So same thing, I just applied the first bead right in the middle, closer to the tip, patting it down and brushing it down towards the tip, and also wiping the sides down to make sure that the acrylic does not take away from our shape. The second one I'm placing right below that first one. Same thing, patting it down, brushing it down towards the tip. The third one I'm gonna place closer to the back, right kind of like in the middle, but closer, you know, of course, to the cuticle area. And then same thing, patting it down, brushing it down towards the tip. And as you can see, it's not, you know, as runny as usual because I added those drops of acetone. So again, if you're having problems with your Mia Secret being too runny, definitely try the acetone method. I know I've had a lot of people, you know, telling me to do that, which every now and then I do it, but it definitely helps when you're doing long nails like this. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in and reshape the nails after we applied the acrylic. So same thing, we're filing the sides and the free edge at a 90-degree angle, making sure that we hold our file super straight. That way we get the perfect coffin shape that we want. We're going to go ahead and do this on all of the nails and then we'll be back. Alrighty, so now we're going in with a fine drill bit, and I'm using my Scarlet Melody Susie nail drill, which I highly recommend. And I'm using, again, my fine drill bit by Pana, and I get those from Amazon. As always, we start around the cuticle area, going from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. And I went ahead and took my little background away because I needed to turn my dust collector on because it was a lot of dust and I don't like for it to get in my face. But same thing, we're just following around the cuticle area, making sure that again you go from the right side over to the left side, back and forth. And this is one of the main things that you have to focus on to be able to prevent lifting. I get that question asked a lot about how to prevent lifting, and it's really all about how you file around this cuticle area. Again, the way that I know that I file good enough, and I do this for every single set, is I look for, again, where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. If you're not able to see those three things individually, then most likely you haven't sealed that cuticle area really good. So make sure that you pay attention to that. You have to make sure though that you get as close as you can to that cuticle area. I know that as a beginner it gets pretty scary, trust me. That's how I was. I was scared to go around the cuticle area because I was scared that I would cut someone, but the only way to get better is by just practicing. So even if you just start your drill at like a really slow speed, and then as you get more comfortable, then speeding it up as you go. But again, the only way to get better is by learning. Yes, you're gonna cut people every now and then, but sometimes it's not really much you can do. But just apologize and just keep going. But things like that happened, so it's just all a part of learning. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and finish doing the filing, and then after this we're gonna go in with the buffer. Alrighty, so now we're going in with a buffer, and we're just buffing those nails really good to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail. from the e-file or the hand file. So after this, we're gonna go in and just dust the nails off and then wipe them off with an alcohol wipe. And then also just a little reminder that after you're done with everything, and if your nails still feel bumpy or just rough overall, you have to go in and file some more or buff the nails some more. The only way to get rid of the bumps is by filing, and then the only way to get rid of those scratches is by buffing. I know I get that question asked a lot, but as a beginner, your nails are going to be bumpy and lumpy, and trust me, I was there too. But you just have to go in and file a little bit more and just fill on the nail once you're done with each one, because you will be able to see, even if you can't see the bumps, you will be able to see them if you just go on there and just feel each nail. Alrighty, so I'm just wiping the nails off, and this is how the nails look like before any polish. Literally just flawless. They just look really good, just plain and simple. But now we're gonna go in and do a whole bunch of crazy nail art. So I'm gonna be using quite a few different gel polishes. Some are D&D, some are Madam Glam, but I'll be sure to leave all of the names and the brand down below in the description for anyone that is interested. But again, all of these are gel polishes. As you can see, it's gonna get pretty messy, so just keep watching. But it is a 90s inspired set. I know they've been really in style lately with the curved nails. Who is it? Fetish Nails been doing them a lot on her Instagram, and they just been popping. And this is this client right here, she loves just everything that's like 90s. She's been getting her nails really long and curved lately, but the last set that I did, they're like the straight nails, and she was itching for a set with the curved nail tips. But anyways, as you can see, I'm using my small cleanup brush to clean up that smile line, and I just dip it into a little bit of acetone, just kind of dab it on the paper towel before I actually go and clean up the smile line, and then I wipe it off on the paper towel. But as you can see, a lot of the things are just going to be random as I go. I am looking at a picture. I'll be sure I already named the person that it was inspired by, but I'll be sure to leave her information down below as well if you want to go check out the original picture of what my client asked for. I do have a lot of clients that always just come in with a picture. They ask me if I can do that, and I just do whatever they want me to do. So that's usually how a lot of my sets go. I know a lot of people always ask me, like, how do you come up with these things? But I promise you, like, a lot of my clients, they just automatically know what they want. So a lot of them are just things that I just recreate. But yeah, so you can see the picture a little bit there. So my client was pointing each nail out and telling me what design went on each nail, and we kind of just did it like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let you watch, but again, I'll be sure to name all of the colors down below. Alrighty, so for the previous nail, we kind of just did, a combination of the pink and the yellow. For this one, we just did the pink going sideways, and then it's going to be a flower on the side, which is the yellow. For this ring finger, we're going to do purple. It's going to be kind of like a marble. So I'm going to go in with the purple gel polish on the tip. And then I am going to come back in and add some white. And then I'm also going to come back in and add, you know, a few different random colored lines. And for the pinky, it's just going to be something similar to the index finger. It's just going to be more colors. So I'm doing the purple. I'm going to do some pink. I'm going to do the green and blue. Alrighty, so before we cure the nails, as you can see, I'm going in and just gently wiping down the sides of the nails, because since I'm not just, you know, polishing the nail normally or how I normally would, the gel polish is going on there a bit thicker than usual, so it kind of runs over to the sides and I don't want it to take away from my shape. So when you kind of just dab the side of the nail, it kind of just brings your shape back. But anyways, for this one, we're just going to do a marble with the blue and the green or yellow, neon yellow. And we're going to go in and kind of swirl the colors around with the brush. Okay, so for the index finger, we're going to go in with the pink going from the sides and making like a little triangle in the middle with the back just clear. And then we're going to come back in with different color lines. Okay, for the middle finger, we're just gonna go in and do like the tip, like going sideways with this orange. And then the ring finger, we're gonna do with different colors just on the tip. Alrighty, and lastly for the pinky, we're gonna go in with purple and green. And remember, when you're doing a design or a set like this, it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect at all. You kind of just go in and wiggle the lines around because that's kind of like, you know, what makes it, you know, like that 90s, you know, theme with all the different colors and the splatter and all that good stuff. But anyways, now we're going in with the black gel polish, which is the Perfect Black by Madam Glam. We did a line right in the middle of the nail, and then we're going in kind of like with zebra print on the sides. And then I'm also like right now I'm just doing them kind of spread out, and then I'm gonna come back in and do smaller lines in between those, and then I'm gonna outline the smile line. Alrighty, so next for this one, we're going to go in and just draw random lines. And really, it's going to be for, you know, the rest of the nails. I really, you know, can't explain it because everything's going to be different. It's literally just random lines all over the nails. And then they're also going to be different colors as well. And then at the end, I'm going to come in and just add some glitter in between the lines. So I'm not going to do much talking through this part because, again, it's literally just random lines. They're not in any specific order or anything. Just going in there and just drawing those random lines. Remember, they don't have to be the same shape, same length, same anything. Just go in there and draw those lines. And then after we draw the lines, I'm going to go in there and do some dots with this dotting tool. And y'all, I feel like the little dots just make everything just pop out so much. And I don't know why I just like those dots so much, but they just look so cute to me. Alrighty, so now for this ring finger, we're going to go in with the yellow and the pink on the tip. And then we're also going to do some green lines going like from the side. Alrighty, so for this middle finger, we're going to go in and just outline the flower with the black, and then we're going to draw some more lines. Alrighty, so we're going to go in and draw some black lines on this pinky, and then we're also going to go back in and draw some dots on it. And then we're going to do something really similar on the other hand. Alrighty, so we're close to finishing. So for this one, we're just going to go in and outline that with some black. And then we're going to do a black strip right in the middle with some glitter in between. And then I'm also going to go back in and add glitter to the rest of the nails. And y'all, like, this design basically, or this set reminds me of when I used to, I think it was my first time that I ever went and got my nails done when I was in the 4th grade. And when you asked for a design in the shop, like, all they did was the little lines. I remember I had a French tip, French tips, and then on one, which was my ring finger, I had like a little bit of orange and then some black and white lines. And y'all, I just thought I was like the cutest thing ever. I think I still have a picture somewhere. It was like some of my daycare pictures or something, or not daycare, but like summer program pictures, and I had my nails done. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and finish up this set. Again, we're just going in and just adding glitter in between the lines. And then these little brushes I do have on my website, which will be up pretty soon. As you guys know, it just got taken down not too long ago, just a couple days ago, for restocking. So I'll be sure to just keep everyone updated on just a day on when it's going to come back. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in with the Madam Glam Gel Top Coat. We're going to apply that on all of the nails, and then we're going to cure each hand for 60 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so we're just going in with a little bit of cuticle oil, and here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty, super colorful, super long and extra, and I just love them. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.